There are 3 ways to grow your business. Let's talk about them. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to do that. Hit the like button. Leave me a comment below. My name is Kelly McKay. I am a business development and leadership trainer. Basically, that's what I do now. I've been in the HVAC industry since 1996. That's almost 29 years. It's easy for me to remember how long I've been in the industry because I've been married for the same amount of time. I got into the industry, introduced to the industry after I got married, and I went to work for my father-in-law. So here we are 29 years later. I've started as a technician and then ended up doing some installations and eventually got my master's license, started my own company, ran that for 14 years, successfully exited in 2022, and since then, I've dedicated all my time to helping other HVAC contractors get past sticking points to level up their company or to at least get better results. You know, what we specialize in is maximizing business operations, because when you can do that, everything changes, and it usually changes for the better. But that doesn't mean we don't have to go through some pain to get there. But it's like pick your pain. You can stay in the same pain that you're at, getting minimal results, or you can go through a little bit of pain to get a lot better results. It's just up to you. You choose. But this video is primarily because I wanted to talk about the 3 ways to grow. They're very simple. Is your phone not ringing enough? Or worse, are your technicians turning good calls into dumpster fires? It's time to fix that. Join our Book More Calls, Close More Deals masterclass, where HVAC business owners learn how to fill the schedule, close with confidence, and stop losing money faster than a faster than a faster than fast. I don't know why this is so funny. Faster than an evaporator coil with faster than an evaporator coil with 1,000 microscopic leaks in July. This isn't fluff, it's proven stuff. Sign up now before your competition does. Seriously, they're already watching this. Number 1 is get more customers, and everybody thinks that that is the only way that they're going to be able to scale their company. And it's simply not true, because if you just get more customers and you do not have processes and systems in place to make sure that you're maximizing the results from running those service calls, from doing those installations, then you just set yourself up for a disaster. With more customers, there's also a bunch of other things that tend to happen, such as now we're running overtime. We're working overtime, so now there's less time in the day. Now we need to hire more people. And if we already need more people right now, then what do you think getting more customers is going to create within your business? It's going to be the need to hire even more people. So you wind up just digging yourself into a hole that's a lot harder to come out of, and it's a lot harder to shift. You got to go through a little bit more pain when you do learn and you gather the right information and you apply it and you implement it. When you start to make these shifts, it creates big waves that you're going to have to overcome, and it's going to be a little painful situation for a while. So most people they try to grow, but then they realize what they have is not working. Then they don't want to go through the pain to make a change so that they can get better results. But that pain is required. It's going to be worth it at the end of it. You just have to believe and have faith and know that you're applying the right information that we share all the time. So everybody goes to this top 1, get more customers. The second way, and I already showed you the pitfalls and downfalls of that, because that's incredibly a dangerous, slippery slope. If you have the one mindset that I just need more and more customers without proper process and systems, you're just setting yourself up for way more pain than if we fix it in the beginning with processes and systems. Then we can go out and spend more money to get more customers and then maximize it takes a lot of effort to go run a service call, to install a system. Let's maximize that effort. Let's make sure that we're making the most of it. That way we can pay our people more than the industry average in your region. That way we can give more benefits, we can have nicer stuff, and everything that, you know, attracts good people to your company, because you're going to need people. Next, the second thing is increase transactional value. That is necessary, so every transaction needs to have a higher value. So if I've got service calls that are $200 average, what would happen to my business if I was able to bump that up to $400 average? Some people go about this the wrong way. They just go straight in and increase their prices a whole bunch without delivering any extra value for that extra money. And if you do that, you're setting yourself up for spoiling your reputation, quite possibly. Maybe a lot more negative interactions between you and your customers because you didn't increase the amount of value that you provide. And look, sometimes when it comes to increasing the transactional value, it could just be that you're not selling enough of your service. So maybe your price is right, but you're selling one repair instead of two. So if you were to be able to sell 2 repairs, you're still increasing your transactional value. Like every transaction has more value. So we have to look at that and we have to decide how can we do that, but also the perceived value that the customer receives. Because it's like when it comes to perceived value or just increasing value in general, there's lots of little things that you can do that to the customer it's very valuable, but it doesn't cost you much money as a business. So that's what we're looking at for that, to increase that perceived value, to increase the overall value. So that way it's more justified. If we do have to raise our prices, it's more justified. People can understand because look at the service I just got, right? Or look at the amount of things that they did for this price. Amazing, right? So there's lots of different ways to adjust that and change it to where it's fair. It's fair for you as a business owner that you can charge enough to earn a proper profit, and it's fair to the customer because they get so much extra service, and it's fair to the employees. It's just a fair exchange between everybody. But that has to be done in certain ways to make sure that that fair exchange does happen. And it's not so that way customers don't feel like you're ripping them off, because that's the last thing we want. We don't want to rip anybody off. The next thing you can do is increase the number of transactions per customer per year. So this is why we want to add maintenance agreements. So now when we're out there and we maybe do a service call, we find that the unit's dirty, we offer them a yearly maintenance agreement. Maybe we provide the service while we're there. Maybe we don't, maybe we schedule it for another time. But then we get a second chance to go to the customer's home later in the year, and we get to look at the other side of the system and make some, write a prescription for what you found, as you are the doctor, right? You're the doctor of heating and air when you go into a home. So it's your job to do your due diligence to make sure this thing as a system is working, like I say all the time, as safely, as reliably, as efficiently, to keep them extra comfortable and to save them the most amount of money and to extend the equipment's life. So if we're doing a good job at that, then it's not that hard to increase the number of transactions that you have per client per year. And that's going to grow your company. So these are the 3 ways. Every time you do any of these, it opens up a whole new door of challenges to overcome. So every time you change anything in the business, there's also another set of challenges that are going to arrive and be placed in your lap to deal with. So you need to know how to navigate that and how to do it as effectively and efficiently. So if you do that, then you create, a business that's actually winning, a business that is sustainable, number 1, a business that's scalable, number 2, and a business that's sellable. Whether you ever want to sell your business or not, it's worth going through what you need to go through, what you need to do within your business to make it to where it could be sellable, because that means it operates without you. That means it's not reliant upon any one person in the business. And when that happens, the business the business is going to be worth more. It's going to get a higher evaluation. And, you know, that's part of your net worth. That's part of what you're building towards, especially some of us like me who went many years in business without having a retirement plan of any kind. The business was my retirement plan. Now we did like a simple IRA with the whole company. But it was only 7-8 years old by the time I exited my company, which is not enough to retire on. So the business, the sale of this business, this asset that I built from nothing, that was my retirement. That was what helped me get to where I wanted to go a lot faster. And since I can't just sit around and do nothing, I want to help other HVAC contractors. So be sure to join our class. The Book More Calls, Close More Deals masterclass happening on the 19th this month. Don't miss it. And I hope to see you there. And we're going to cover lots of business strategies. I'm going to give you several strategies. You're going to learn how income always follows assets. And you're going to learn the most valuable assets that you have within your company. And it's not your building, it's not your trucks, it's not even your people. I'll teach you all about it so that you can start to think differently about your business, look at it from a different perspective, and actually grow it to something that is not only sustainable, but it's scalable and it's sellable. So I will see you guys on the masterclass, and for now, go make money. Boom.